Hello everyone, today we have a special surprise for you all. Since the Academy Awards just happened, we are talking all things Oscars, Oscars, Oscars with our recap panel. This is The Buzz. Joining me are my lovely and, might I say, very well-dressed co-panelists Shira Nambar,
Hi.
Megan Ely, and of course my co-host Malicia Johnson.
Mr. Oscar is here visiting with us today.
So heavy, by the way.
He's very heavy, but guys, this is not a prop. This is a real Oscar. This is one of the benefits you get from going to a university that has a film school that is poppin', okay? This Oscar was awarded to documentarian David L. Whooper for his documentary feature, The Hellstorm Chronicle. An interesting fact about David L. Whooper is also he's the creator of Roots. So he brought Roots to television, which is a huge deal. Mr. Oscar here celebrated his 90th birthday yesterday, and diversity was the star of the night. The overall theme was Old Hollywood meets New Hollywood, and some of the big winners were Jordan Peele, who was the first Black writer to win Best Original Screenplay for Get Out, Allison Janney for Best Supporting Actress in I, Tonya, and who would have known Kobe Bryant received an award for the animated short film Dear Basketball.
I was so surprised, but
I
happy
was
for
very
him.
surprised too, but unfortunately we weren't able to make it to this year's Oscars, but our dean, Willow Bay, was there and has the inside scoop. Earlier this morning, I sat down with Willow and talked about her Hollywood biggest night moment. Let's take a look. You looked gorgeous last night, by the way, but we'll get to fashion a little bit later on. First, we have to talk about Frances McDormand.
Yes, the shout out.
Yes.
The shout out to our very own Stacey Smith's work.
Yes.
Stacey called it an equity writer, but Frances McDormand shouted out diversity writer.
Right.
But then you have this glorious moment where she pulls up all of the women nominees, and I have to say that Dion Furstenberg a couple years ago started this beautiful tradition of having a lunch for the women nominees, and it's closed to the press. It's just meant to celebrate them. So I got the chance to be with all of them earlier in the week. So for me, there were all these familiar faces in the room, and to be singling them out and having them stand and share in this moment was an extraordinarily special end.
So being a journalist, what is a story that you would have written this morning that would have been the headline on the newspaper or on the TV from last night?
Okay, so here's one that I would not have written. I was a little dismayed this morning to find in my inbox a Hollywood Reporter story, and it was just a fashion and photo piece. Hollywood executives and their dates in parentheses. And okay, I thought, let's see, this will be a diverse group. There'll be women executives, men executives, maybe gay executives, a whole combination. Wrong. I had to click through 15 images until I hit the first female executive. No rhyme or reason. It wasn't alphabetical order. We could have easily highlighted actually the female talent in the industry. I actually thought fashion took a backstage.
It did.
And you could feel it, right? Which is a funny thing to be able to feel. There was more purpose and less preening. And that it was subtle, but you could really tell the difference. People say to me a lot, you've been going like how many, 20 years or whatever it is, and you know, does it get old? And I have to say it doesn't.
Such an amazing woman.
Yes.
And getting her feedback firsthand, she was there. It was awesome. Hopefully one day we'll be able to join her.
Exactly. I was so jealous. But moving on to social media reactions about the Oscars, people were literally losing it over Ryan Seacrest's interview with Taraji P. Henson on the red carpet. Was she or was she not throwing shade at Seacrest? Earlier, Seacrest was accused of sexual misconduct, so let's clear all of this up. So Henson clarified to People magazine that her comments were misinterpreted as a diss to Ryan Seacrest. In actuality, the star said she did this to quote, keep his chin up. He's been cleared, but anyone can say anything, end quote. The end of the interview even shows the two hugging and appearing very chummy. Seacrest later addressed the situation on Twitter, saying he had nothing but love for Henson. So did you guys fall for that? Did you think that she was throwing some shade at Ryan?
I didn't think so. But personally, when she, touched his chin or whatever, I could see the vibe of her just trying to lift him up. So I didn't get that vibe at first.
What about you?
Yeah, I watched it live, and at first I thought, okay, like, here we go. She's going to call him out, because Taraji's definitely someone who would do that. But it really felt like, okay, like, she's not going to let him get away with anything, but also she's on his side. She believes him. He was cleared of everything by them. I think E! Network did an investigation on him, and he came out cleared of everything. So
this is just a lesson that, like, overall, the media outlets need to really pay attention to figure out the full story, because there was so much more to that.
It's a lesson that social media can be messy, too.
Exactly.
They wanted to find something.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And in addition to everyone buzzing about Taraji's red carpet moment, Jennifer Garner's shocked face gave us another viral meme. There are tons of gifs showing Oscar-winning director Guillermo del Toro doing a double check to make sure he actually won his award. And Kobe Bryant's Oscar win had people on social media saying he's officially better than Michael Jordan after his win.
I love Jennifer Garner's
Yes.
face. That was so cute.
Yes.
She always has like the cutest reaction.
And then quickly, what was your fave, celeb? Social media reaction.
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is always just so funny, so relatable, so clumsy, and there's a picture of her that went viral juggling a wine glass and jumping over a chair, and she's just so cute and funny, of course.
What about you, Megan?
I loved it. The female nominees for Best Actress all had a group hug after Frances McDormand's speech, and then so I just saw pictures of that and I thought that was super powerful, and like they lost, but like they're still winners.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
However, a moment that probably was supposed to go viral but actually fell flat was Jimmy Kimmel's surprise to moviegoers at a nearby screening of A Wrinkle in Time. Kimmel brought a bunch of celebrities from the Oscars to hand out food to thank the moviegoers around the country. But the moment felt very long and a little unnecessary, according to a Vanity Fair article. The Buzz's Evelyn Luau was actually there when Kimmel and Company crashed the screening, and she even was shown live at the Oscars. Here's how she described the surprise.
The staff members told us that they want to take videos of us to do movie promotion. So we're like, okay, that's it. We're not going to like get on Oscars or something. I'm like, this as the whole time. If you go watch the video, you can see me doing this the whole time. I didn't really like this before, but so I brought it here to like share it with you guys. But now I'm like having second thoughts about it.
Oh,
That was so cute.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
never gonna eat those Twizzlers. We are all waiting to see what role politics was going to play in last night's ceremony, and I must say that the talent did a wonderful job using their platforms for a purpose bigger than themselves. I really loved Common's and Andra Day's performance where they had the activists on stage with them from the Black Lives Matter movement, from Planned Parenthood, from Me Too. What were you guys' favorite political moments?
I really enjoyed the Common performance, and I liked how they brought, Marshall itself had a very powerful message, the movie that the song was nominated for, and then Common coming in and adding his own part to the song and making it the current day struggles. It showed kind of there's been a lot of work since Marshall, but there's so much left to do.
Very true. And Me Too movement did not take a backseat last night. Ashley Judd and Annabella Sciorra and Salma Hayek took the stage to introduce a powerful segment that discussed the movement and representation on the big screen. But overall, Frances McDormand is the one who actually stole the movement moment with her inclusion writer. I know a lot of us thought that it was inclusion writer, like you're actually writing something, but she actually meant inclusion writer.
I literally can't believe it.
The designers, come on, Ms. Boyne.
Literally, I would there is a moment where she's like, oh, and I'm like, the speech was wild. Oh my gosh.
She's such a theater person. I love how she's just herself. She's so comfortable with being herself, but it was such a powerful moment.
Yes, it definitely was. She started off a little speechless and ended it perfectly with her, you know, all the women get up. I think it was a really strong end to her speech.
Well, a lot of people were confused about the phrase inclusion writer, as we said before. So we did some digging and found out that the concept was developed by USC's very own Dr. Stacy Smith. So basically, Stacy Smith used the term equity writer, but inclusion writer basically means you can ask or demand for at least 50% of diversity, not only in the casting, but in the crew. So when you're negotiating contracts, this is something you can actually ask for now.
Yeah, this is so important, and this is the beginning of, you know, hashtag Oscars not being so white. And, you know, backstage or on TV, you know, there was an inside tidbit that she said it was all theater. So she knew what she was doing. She was smart about this.
Absolutely.
She ended on a very strong note. But her night kind of took a little I guess, low end. It kind of went south a little bit when, according to the New York Times, Frances Dorman's Oscar was temporarily stolen at the governor's ball. She set her Oscar down and talked for a little while with someone, and when she looked back, it disappeared.
That's so sad.
Wolfgang Puck, who is the caterer of the governor's ball, had his photographer there with him, and the photographer tracked down the thief and was able to get the Oscar back to Meg Dorman. TMZ has reported that the man who stole the Oscar has been arrested for felony grand theft.
Good.
That's crazy.
I'm glad that she got her Oscar back. She deserves it. But our Allegra Gutierrez went out to the film school today to see how students felt about Frances's speech and the overall atmosphere last night.
I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's one of those things you should just apply across every movie, because I don't think every movie it would work for that. Yeah. But I think, yeah, in scenarios that it makes sense in the movie, I think, yeah, that makes sense. It's a good incentive to create diversity within cinema.
And do you think that more actors are going to implement this into their contracts following Frances's speech?
Look, I mean, the fact that people are even talking about what is an inclusion writer, that's good. Like, that's bringing up a little. I think some people will do it. I mean, my guess is there's only certain actors/actresses who have the leverage power to do it. But I think, I mean, yeah, there's no reason not to. The stars dictate what movies get made and not made. So they should have the power to, like, you know, if the cast or crew, they want it to be a diverse crew, they should be able to write that into the contract.
I love his perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad she went to the film school
Yes.
to see what they were thinking
I
about.
know. The school produces so many Oscar winners. He might be one. Who knows?
Right, it's one right here.
Another powerful moment from the Oscars was a performance from The Greatest Showman's Keala Settles. She sang the song This Is Me, which was nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars and received a standing ovation. Check out a clip from the performance.
This is Frank, this is Bruce, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.
This is just like a very emotional song for me. You have no idea how much this means to so many people of color, of different backgrounds, of different orientations. What I mean, I was bawling during you can actually see it right now. I was bawling during the Oscars watch party that we had. It's just, I was not okay.
We were all tearing up, right? And all of a sudden we hear this, and we look over and JT is literally bawling, you know? So this is a very powerful song. I totally agree. It's very empowering just to accept who you are and just say, hey, the world, this is me.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like everyone has something, and this song can relate to everyone.
Exactly.
Of course, we cannot talk about the Oscars without discussing the fashion hit and misses. So this year's trends were low V's, pops of color, a lot of white was on the red carpet, as well as sparkle and diamonds.
Yeah.
But fashion kind of took a back seat this year.
Definitely. Going with Willow Bay's comment about fashion taking a back seat and purpose being more of the focus, I definitely think people played it safe with whites and neutrals, and there were a few pops of color.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, and I love Lupita Nyong'o's
That's speaking
look.
of best dress.
Our
best dress list. We have Lupita Nyong'o, Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
We have Gal Gadot and Margot Robbie.
All displaying the trends we're talking about. Gorgeous looking ladies.
Yes, they look very elegant and powerful. You know, just effortlessly beautiful.
Yeah.
Actress Rita Moreno from the film A West Side Story can still fit into her Oscars dress, guys, from 1960.
Truly.
How amazing is that? Goals, right?
She still looks fantastic.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
She does. And Best Dressed Men, we have Armie Hammer, Chadwick Boseman, Timothy Chalamet, Daniel Koala, and Jordan Peele.
Gotcha. That was they look amazing.
They
Absolutely
do
stunning.
look amazing. The velvet was really, you know, really powerful last night. Everybody looked good in their velvet.
There was a lot of velvet.
Yeah.
I noticed.
But what would you give the Oscars as an overall grade?
If we had to break it down, the fashion, the political stance, the winners, what would you give it? Count of three, right? 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
A C. Why did you give it a C?
I feel like it's just I've seen better shows before, and everything was pretty predictable. I feel like all the winners were predictable, and it was good, but there wasn't so much controversy or something exciting like last year when they mixed up the envelopes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just so funny. I'm sorry. Our producer just told us we had our letters upside down. So B. Right.
Yes. Well, just to wrap it all up, you know, diversity definitely was at the forefront of all of this. So just want to make sure that they continue that. Thank you all for tuning in for our Oscars recap. See you guys next week on March 19th for our next episode.